is Jen McFarland. I'm very excited to be here tonight to talk to you about sustainable AI. So let's jump into it. This is a slide with a lot of numbers, and it's telling you something that you probably already know, which is that AI is a very resource-intensive technology. Every day, you and I are using it more and more, both personally and for our businesses, and this is leading tech CEOs on an arms race to buy up chips and build data centers, and by any estimation, that's going to be a huge increase in the amount of power required to continue to deliver AI to us, right? But some estimates, it's 3 to 4 times in the next couple of years. The issue here is really actually that the bottleneck isn't so much the chips or the data centers, it's the power to keep the lights on and keep this information getting to you. So here's our problem. We are in a place where we have unprecedented power and water usage. We don't have the power to deliver this, and while there are some companies that are making efforts to plan and build green and renewable resources for powering data centers, that's something that's going to take a while. That's a longer term effort, and in the short term, unfortunately, most of our AI is being powered by fossil fuels, the dirtiest and most carbon intensive sources of power. So what I'm going to try to do today is give you 5 ways that you can improve your AI usage, improve your AI efficiency to try to work against that problem. A few disclaimers. 1, this started as 10 things. 5 minutes is not very long. So I'm going to focus on actionable and simple, and we're going to try to move through this as quickly as we can. There will be resources at the end, so don't worry about trying to grab all the details. Also, the disclaimer remains for all of us in AI. As you probably know, any of this stuff may have changed since I took the stage roughly 2 minutes ago. All right, first up, optimize your prompts. So starting with square one, when you're putting your prompt in, look for places where you can be more efficient with that prompt. And there are a couple of tools that will check that prompt out for you, give some advice, and they are also tools that will let you save your prompt so that you can find a good one and use it again. On the other side of the equation, it's a great idea to sort of configure the information that's coming out of your AI model to be a little bit less. And you can do that even in your prompt by saying something like, give me a response in 400 words or less. Or you can take your AI tool of choice and put your own instructions in there with something like, I prefer less information. Give this to me in a shorter amount, keep it tight. It's great to do some research into the models that you're using, and as we all know, the sort of brand name AIs do not give us this information. So we're kind of at a loss for how to make some of these educated decisions. One way that we can look into this is by checking out things like this Energy Leaderboard and the Energy Star project. These are doing assessments of open source models, and while obviously this, again, is not going to be the models that you're using day to day necessarily, they can begin to give you a good sense of the companies behind these models. So some of the open source models are coming from Google, they're coming from OpenAI, and they can sort of show you which way these companies are trending. Are they being more efficient? Are they getting better at doing these models, or are some of them really heavy? Whenever possible, and it's often possible, try to use smaller and specialized models. Lots of people are going to point you in this direction, things like Google Gems or Notebook LM projects. These are going to let you constrain the model that you're working with to the information that is the most important. And the good news about this is not only is that going to be a more efficient way of running your process, it's also going to give you better output because it's going to be more relevant to what you're working with. So this is really a win-win. And then finally, the obvious way of being more efficient. I'm really glad that you're all laughing because I do want to say I definitely think that we should be using AI. I'm not going to come up here ever and tell anyone that they should not use AI. Just because a lot of tech CEOs have decided that innovation is more important than the environment, that does not mean that any of us have to take the hit on that. You should all be using what is clearly a generational technology. That being said, this can have a huge impact. If you just pause for a moment and think, do I really need AI to solve this problem? Do I really need another Barbie meme of myself? There's ways that we can all cut back a little, and that can have a huge impact. Likewise, if you can use it a little bit less, when you're generating that image for your blog post, can you maybe get by with 2 or 3 options instead of 10 or 15? Again, these are really small, simple things that have a big impact. And I really want you to take away the fact that you can have an impact. The biggest way that we give up our power is by thinking we don't have it, but make no mistake, how you use AI, both for yourself and for your organizations, now will continue to have impacts going forward. So do the research, make the choices where you can to support the companies that are being more efficient. Think through the process, do I really need to use this? And we can all start to improve this problem. Thank you.